Peace, 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 peace. Just gotta come over this way a little bit, Ski. Bring the camera. Remove this here. Bring this up a little bit over here. All righty. Peace, 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 everybody. We live. We are live on YouTube. Michael Jordan, the Serious Alchemist, aka the Serious Alchemist, with
8 Generals. We're back at it again.
8 Generals back again with another video, another Monday night podcast. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling out there? You know what I'm saying? We got some good topics going for y'all tonight. One of the first topics I think was, what was this, Ski?
Fear of... Talk about that one first.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about the Kendrick Johnson case first. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all know. I wish I had put a picture up. I wish I had pulled a picture up, too.
Yeah.
To put up there. But anyway, I don't have a picture, but Kendrick Johnson, brother, they said that he committed suicide in 2013. They found him rolled up in a mat here in Georgia in one of these high schools, and they tried to say he killed himself. Come to find out he was murdered. Today, his parents went and filed a case against the... Let me pull it up on my phone so I can say exactly what it is, so I ain't misquoting nothing. Let me pull it up on my phone real quick, because I don't want to misquote name. Yeah, it says Kendrick Johnson's parents have filed a new federal lawsuit claiming Georgia's Department of Public Health falsified their son's death certificate by listing his 2013 death as accidental, despite new evidence suggesting homicide. Mm. And I have been following this case since it happened. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I first seen it, I knew there was no way that brother killed himself. Talking about he crawled inside of a rolled up mat trying to get his shoe. His shoe fell in there, and he went after his shoe, and he ended up killed. Come on, that didn't even make no sense. He ended up unaliving himself, excuse me. But that didn't even make no sense. So I've been following the case, and there's a couple, his parents have actually filed a couple of lawsuits. This is just one of them. They filed one of them. So the brother is getting justice. So I just wanted to bring that up, you know.
That everything comes to the light in the end. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't hide everything forever, you know. I'm glad that they're finally getting some justice in this case. The negligence on the school's part, law enforcement involved, the whole thing was just a whole mess. From the moment we heard about it, something didn't seem right about it.
Yeah, plus all these people be clicked up together. Mm-hmm. They be on the same team. So anytime, if any of y'all this happened to any families out there, make sure you get a private investigator to do their own investigation, because we can't trust these police officers and these because they all clicked up together, and these judges and all of them. We can't trust none of them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go get second opinions. We got to go get private investigators and all that, because, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to give us the justice we need. We got to make it happen for ourselves. So, yeah, I just want to say shout out to the parents of Brother Kendrick Johnson for doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And we need more parents out there like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, the next topic was what? The fear of time.
We can talk about the fear of time. I've been waiting to get into this one.
I actually had a book too that I wanted to share. It's somewhat, it might be in the closet anyway. But what do you want to say about time, though, Ski?
Time, as most people are starting to realize, is an illusion, right? Mm-hmm. A construct made to keep things in order or keep things inside of a structure. But time has also been weaponized and turned into a fear, a weapon of fear, and they use it through. They use it through a whole lot of things. They make you fear death. You're running out of time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. They make you fear what comes after death, which just adds to the weight of running out of time. Even those that live their day-to-day lives, they fear they don't have enough time to get to accomplish all the things they want to do. People make bucket lists for the things they want to do before their time runs out. So there's just this whole big fear of time that I don't even think it's people that I don't even think they're fearing death at this point. I think they're just fearing the lack of time. And once you understand that time doesn't really exist, you know, you start to see the world a little bit differently. You do have time to go and accomplish these things that you want done. You shorten your time by stressing your time. You're stressing something that doesn't really exist in the first place. You are a timeless being to begin with. So you stressing something mundane on this level, such as time, a man-made construct, all you're doing is weakening yourself, shortening your own energy span here on this plane, because you're worried about here instead of the bigger picture, the bigger goal, opening your mind and reaching those higher dimensions and those higher levels of existence. That's really all I wanted to touch on time. You know, I could get into how they use time to how do I word it? Not distort history, but create their own version of history.
Create
they
their own narrative.
Dates.
Create their own narrative.
They tell you the world is only this many years old, you know, according to a book, but then they give you dinosaurs and other creatures that existed long before that. You know, so that in itself should give people enough, you know, information that time is not only relative, but it's constructed. It doesn't really exist. The only thing that truly exists throughout the dimensions, in my opinion, would be gravity, because it's going to exist wherever you go. There's gravity in space. There's gravity here, you know, and gravity is another thing that helps hold the illusion together, you know.
Like you said last time, what if you didn't teach your children about gravity?
Right. What if you don't teach them about gravity? What if you don't teach them about time?
Yeah, I know. Because I'm starting to say I'm 63 years eternal now. I ain't starting to say I'm 63 years old. I'm 63 years eternal.
And you're not even 63.
Yeah.
Because if you were to go by older calendars, there's a whole month's missing. There's all types of stuff missing from today's calendar.
The Gregorian
you know,
calendar.
So you're not even 63.
Because in the ancient world, they use 13-month calendar.
Right, exactly.
Instead of 12-month calendar.
So you're not even 63. To be honest with you, you're younger than 63. I'm not 28. I'm younger than 28.
I wish I had that book, man, because it's talking just about what we're talking about. I think it's in that room in there, the technology of time or something like that. But it's talking about it, and I would like to read something out of it. Let me look in here real quick. Hold it down. Go ahead and talk to the folks, Ski, while I go.
While he's looking for that, you notice that you're starting to put time in a lot of these movies, especially the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if you notice, they've done it quite a few times where they restart a timeline, right? There are many different avenues when it comes to existence. There's different levels of existence, right? Time is something for this dimension. Time doesn't exist in any other higher forms of existence because it's a man-made construct. But when you look at, think about this for a minute. If you were to take the Loki series from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right, there were a whole bunch of Loki variants from different timelines. And essentially what they were doing was rounding up all the variant Lokis that weren't supposed to exist and sending them to this barren wasteland where they were all finding each other. And they were all, you know, trying to get free. It looks like he found the book.
Yeah, I did.
And what I was getting to was you could just be a one variant of yourself in many different timelines. So this you might just be a branch off of your original you, right? It's not even the real authentic you. You're just a divergent stream throughout this existence. You know, you exist. I feel like you're here on this physical plane, but you're also there in the spiritual plane, the astral plane, so on and so forth, all existing at once, though. So what goes on above, you know, it will affect what happens below in the lower dimensions, right? Like a shadow or like gravity can pass through each of those dimensions, right? So I don't know if you found what you was looking for.
Yeah, I did. But go ahead. Okay. Go ahead. I can wait till you finish.
So kind of lost my train of thought because I got to thinking about the Loki show and the
Oh.
different variants, and then thinking about how we could each be different variants of our own selves.
Yeah.
And what if there is a
so you started going deep down the rabbit
hole. I kind of
you start taking a deep dive down the rabbit hole. But yeah, but this book is called Time and the Technosphere, The Law of Time in Human Affairs by Jose Arguelles, PhD, author of The Mind Factor. But anyway, on page, I think it's page 54, it says the law of time in human affairs. The key to the Mayan factor is the application of the harmonic module as a fractal measure that is descriptive of the cycle of 13 Bactans. The Mayan measure of history, this measure of 13 Bactans, a cycle extending from 3113 BC to AD 2012, have been deduced from the stone inscriptions of the Mayan monuments of the Classic period, most of which bear date within the 10 Bactun cycle. Bactun, I'm not quite sure what a Bactun is. That's why I heard the Bactun. But it's going over here. They got 13 Bactun times 20 Bactun. Bactuns. So this is some kind of...
It's math.
It's measuring time. Some kind of measurement of time.
It was a 13 by 20 matrix of 13.
Yeah, because you'd have to be very well versed in a lot of this stuff to understand it. But this book is deep when you start getting into it because it gives you a lot of images of. Remember, I told you they went on a 13-month cycle.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. There it is, right there. See, we on a 12-month. They cut a whole cycle out.
This is just me guessing because I've never really dived into the whole 1320 deal. But what if it's a 13-month period with 20 days in each month?
Mm-hmm.
That's just be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as how they kind of set it up mathematically,
mm-hmm.
I would think it would be 13 months, 20 days per month.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you think about 11, the math still doesn't add up to today's calendar if you were to even take it away.
Mm-hmm.
But
but like it says here, it says from the point of view of timing devices, there are two factors in the establishment of history. The first is the 1260 program established 5,000 years ago with the division of the day into 24 hours, 60 minutes, 60 seconds, based on the 360-degree vision of the circle. I didn't even know that. The other factor is the use of a purely lunar calendar that is difficult to reconcile with the actual measure of the solar year. The purpose of the 1260 measure was to establish a timing standard that was actually a pseudo-solar calendar to assert male intellectual dominance. Ooh.
So basically they said, since we need to prove that males are smart,
yeah,
we're going to make it to where our calendar fits how the earth goes around the sun. That's basically what they're saying.
Right.
Because the original calendar doesn't add up with how the earth moves around the sun.
Right. I got to show an image of this. That 13 months, because we used to be on a 13-month cycle in the ancient world. See, they took a month out, and these Europeans took a month out. That's why I got to show that image right there. Show you what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we're still moving on that 13-month cycle. It's just
but we're just not counting it. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So the year can't be correct.
I don't know if you've ever noticed when the seasons change. Sometimes it feels like one comes too early or comes too late.
Like they, you
know. So if we're off track with how we're really supposed to be counting on the calendar, that would make a whole lot of sense. There's a whole month that we're now either. Well, I'm trying to figure out. I guess we would be ahead of our calendar. Will now be ahead of their calendar.
And that's why I went on to read. It went on to say the 30-day measure is not actually a natural one, being a half day more than the synodic lunar measure, but one that conforms to the hexagonal mathematics of the circle. For this reason, this instrument of time reckoning is defined as pseudo-solar. Its ultimate descendant, as we shall see, is the 12-month Julian Gregorian system. That's what we're under right now.
Yeah.
So the other calendar was under the calendar of the female. It benefited the female woman because she ruled. She was the actual ruler.
Right.
She's the natural ruler because she's the natural mother of the child. You know what I'm saying? She can actually continue feeding the child without anything. She can feed the child from her own body.
So man, just think about that for a minute. The man's ego is able to change the world to that. Something as small as changing a calendar would have an effect to this day. You know, simply because you have something to prove.
Right.
You want to change a calendar and destroy an entire system that was working perfectly fine before you want to start smelling yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
and before you got jealous of the woman, when you seen her power, he wanted her power. You know what I'm saying? He wanted her power. Because I was reading a book the other night to where these Europeans, they saw the woman that she would bleed once a month. So they would cut themselves down there and try to imitate that. Trying to imitate what she did because they saw the power in that. They saw she could, but they couldn't give birth. So but that's the only closest they could do is cut themselves down there and try to. And they're like, "What's wrong with y'all? Like, really, what's wrong with y'all?"
I don't understand why they would want to do that. I mean,
they saw the power of the woman.
Right.
The woman ran everything back then.
Very sacred about.
Yeah, it was something very sacred about her cycle. Yeah, and he dated man don't do it. So they was like, well, maybe if we cut ourselves, we could try to imitate. But that's a European concept. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, time is deep though, man. We could go in time forever because this dude right here breaks it down. He's in the back of it. He says, time in the technosphere makes a vital contribution to the great paradigm shift in human cultures that is now accelerating. There is a higher dimension of natural time inscribed in the cosmos and a natural calendar that would help humanity mature into the awakening global consciousness that is now essential for future sustainability and well-being. This book is an important contribution to the awakening event that is now emerging on a planetary scale. This book is a must-have in your library, family. Time in the Technosphere, The Law of Time in Human Affairs by Jose Arguellos, PhD. It's a PhD right here. So, but we're going to switch it to another topic because we wanted to discuss immigrants on blacks. And I saw we saw a video earlier that we discussed, and we want to play this video for y'all. And we want y'all, whoever's watching, to put down in the comments what you think about this subject, because this is kind of a touchy subject. You know what I mean? And be respectful with your comments. We ain't really trying to talk about nobody or nothing. We just try to get an honest opinion on how you feel about this conversation. So we're gonna play the video real quick. And then, if y'all could put something down in the comments of what you think about the video.
Now, I know this video is going to be controversial, and some people are not going to like what I'm about to say. But I'm going to say it anyway. I don't care. Black Americans are right to be mad. They are. You see, us immigrants, not all of us, but a lot of us, seem to forget, or maybe they just don't know. But if you have been living in this country long enough, you should know that. The reason why we're here, the reason why we are allowed to be here, is because of the work Black Americans did. Because of the sacrifices they did. Because all the fights they had to fight in order for us, for them, because they didn't do it for us. They did it for themselves, and it's right. But today we are enjoying the fruit of their labor. And we should not forget that. I'm an immigrant. And yes, in my community, or in an immigrant community, and nobody can say otherwise, is a lot of disrespect for African American. It's a lot of it. I have heard it. And I have to admit that when I first came, I was also ignorant of their history. But after being in this country, for the amount of time I have been here, if I act like I don't know that, it means that I'm willingly demeaning them. They are mad. And you know what immigrants should do right now? We should not be arguing with them. We should be quiet and listen. Listen to what they're saying.
I'm going to stop that right there, family.
Listen.
And then
no.
We're going to have a discussion.
From the other one, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a discussion on that, family. So, you know what I'm saying? That's a hot topic. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to know what people think. And, Ski, what you think?
I'm
going to let you start.
I agree with what she's saying. There's always been this kind of divide between um, immigrants and Black Americans, and I don't know if it's. I feel like it's all like we were talking about earlier. It's all due to propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
It's due to
It's
how
a narrative.
it's due to
Somebody's
how
pushing the narrative.
Yeah, it's due to how this country portrays us all to the rest of the world. Even films that Black people shoot over here, like Master P did a film, and it went crazy overseas, and the whole world thought that Black people acted like that. Mm-hmm. Crazy, just ignorant. Mm-hmm. You know, it's little stuff like that make a big impact, because the people that don't live here in this country, they only get to see us through media, whether it be through performance, through television, through film, music, you know, that kind of. They only get to really see us through the media. They're not taking trips over here frequently just to walk the streets of Atlanta or the streets of New York, you know, to get the real Black American experience. They're only seeing the celebrities, and you have to understand those celebrities have an agenda, and they have a system, not a quota. What's the word I want to say? They have a job that they have to fulfill for their labels or whoever it is that they work for. Whoever it is that they work for, there's a message that they're trying to push, a narrative they're trying to push, right? So those celebrities, whether they want to or not, if you want to stay on that label or under whoever it is you're working for and keep making that money, you have to do that.
You got to push their agenda.
You have to push their agenda. You know,
that's why we got to start starting our own label.
Exactly.
So
you start to see it a lot more. You starting to see a lot more of us starting our own labels, especially in the music industry. But you guys got to learn the music business, the business side of it. Yes, performing and all of that is cool, but like what I'm learning now, there's a lot more behind the scenes playing that's done to get to the point where you can even get on stage and perform your music. A lot of conversations that must be had, and not everybody has the same vision that you have. They have their own agendas as well. So you have to be very careful and pick and choose who you surround yourself with for these, because once again, that's another thing that the rest of the world is looking at. Who are these Black Americans surrounding themselves with, and what are they getting into? You know, if all they see is YNs running around the place, that's what they're gonna think all Black people are like, all Black men are like. You know, so once again, I think it's just a narrative that's being pushed. We've experienced ourselves personally, you know, that kind of energy is what I'll call it. I mean, it varies throughout. Every race shows it a different way, you know, but that's all I can really say about it. It's a narrative that's being pushed, and that's why we're always in a position to where we have to prove ourselves to everyone else that we can be civil or calm or have a genuine conversation. You know, it's always a proving ground for us as Black Americans, because everyone comes in seeing us, you know, like animals, like how they pushed and portrayed us for centuries, for 400 years since the Europeans came over here. They've just been pushing the narrative that we're just animalistic beasts. We just got lucky with being creative, and we just so happen to have some very intelligent few of us. No, that's not the case. That's all they want to push, you know. So I'll let you touch on
that. Yeah. I think it's definitely a narrative, and I think we got to overcome that narrative, because, like, I mean, what's an immigrant? To me, an immigrant is, I mean, I don't even like that word immigrant. You know what I'm saying? Because I got family, friends that are so-called immigrants. You know what I mean? So I don't really like that word, but I want us to see that we got to get past all these labels. That we you know, we brothers and sisters, no matter what they say. You know, that's what my whole point of showing that was. We got to get past the labels. I agree. That's another thing. They put us in these categories of Black Americans, African Americans, Africans, Pacific Islanders.
they put us in all these different categories to keep us separate, because once you just start seeing as another human being, you treat them as you would want to be treated.
Exactly.
The moment you see them as something different, you're going to treat them different.
Yep, exactly.
And so you just continue in the issue, you know. So I agree with that completely, 100%. Labels help push that same narrative that we're talking about by keeping everybody separate, their ideals separate, culture separate, all of that separate.
That's the whole plan, because, like I said, divide and conquer.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how they can rule.
That's not divided.
Yeah, you can't conquer people that's not divided. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we do this podcast, you know what I'm saying? So we can bring people together. You know what I'm saying? People can ask questions. People can leave comments down in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do this. You know what I mean? We want to, and we want to have conversations that people ain't having. You know what I'm saying? And make it easy to have those conversations, not make arguments out of them, but actually conversations. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. But also, I think that there is some people that come here and think, some immigrants or so-called immigrants that come here and think they're better than Black Americans and don't realize that we've been over here. We was over here before slavery. This was our land. This land belonged to us. You know what I'm saying? This land was stolen from us. And then the captives are still here. You know what I'm saying? They still here running it, but they ain't got too much time. I always call them the powers that were. That's what I call them, the powers that were, because they ain't got too much time because it's all falling. But
that's all due to the narrative. Once again, I mean, the Europeans came in, they destroyed people's history, write their own history, and make you ingest it. And then on top of that, they're trying to take away the whole section about slavery and all of that. They're trying to take that out of the history books in school. So yes, people are going to start forgetting about that if it's not told to them by their peers.
And if you're so superior, why you can't get along with nobody? Why you can't go around? You can't get along with nobody around the world. A superior being
has been gained through
a superior being can get along with anyone. If you so superior, why you can't get along with nobody?
Which is why,
because you're not, ain't nobody superior. We might be different,
right?
But ain't nobody superior. You can miss me with that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the whole problem. And then they give us this what you call a caste system, black and white. That's what who's black? I ain't really.
What they did was they took an older system, an older caste system, and said, okay, well, they're separating due to shades of black over here. We're just gonna make it you're black or you're white, and anyone who's not white ain't right.
Right.
So they played off, because they weren't the first to come up with that. The Asians had one, the Indians had one, the Egyptians had one. There's a caste system. You know, they came in and just made it point blank period. Either you're black or you're white. And if you're black, you're less than human, and you will work and serve for who is white. And when they went around the rest of the world pushing that, that's how the rest of the world started.
And they came, and they was pushing that with a sword. Mind you, death. Because if you didn't join Christianity back in the day, they take your head off. So they was pushing that. They was pushing that with a sword. Yeah, you feel me? And let's see, what time is 7:55? They was pushing that with a sword. I think we had 3 topics to go tonight. We went through them all, but I'm gonna play one last video before we get off of here. I want to play this video of Bobby before we go. Let Bobby in the show. You know what I'm saying? Bobby always does a good job in the show. But yeah, this is episode 2. I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in, watching, and checking us out. I know we just now getting started, and it's kind of early, and we ain't got a lot of viewers yet, but we're gonna build that up. We here every Monday at 7:30, between 7 and 7:30, but usually we be live by 7:30. Put it that way, because we usually come in a little early and talk about the topics and see what we're gonna talk about and all that kind of stuff. But every Monday, you know what I'm saying? Put us in your calendars. We here every Monday, live at 7:30, talking about these topics. You know what I'm saying? And let us know how you feel in the description box. You know, if any of these topics you like, any topics you want to hear. Any topics you want us to talk about?
I want to know what you guys want to hear about.
Yeah, me too. You know what I'm saying?
This, we want to cover everything. Y'all might figure out something that needs to be spoken about that we don't even think about.
Exactly. And then we'll bring some attention to it. Yeah, we will definitely bring some attention to it. So with that being said, family, I'm going to play this with video of Bobby. We're going to play this and we're going to come back and then we're going to close out.
Is us. We are the book. The mystery to the Bible is you're supposed to go in the Bible. Read the Bible. Everywhere Christ is, you're supposed to put yourself as a guidebook to your damn soul. The Quran, you're supposed to put the guidebook of your soul. You don't supposed to be reading the book following Christ. Hell, you are Christ. That's for the cracker and the people of the other race who are not you to guide by so they can just get along while they're on the earth. That's to keep them from killing each other. Look what they did with the damn book. You think if they didn't have the book, none of us would be here talking. That was just a moralistic book for the lesser beings on earth. But they were following the nature of the black man and black woman who is Christ. You're supposed to go to the book, and everywhere you see Christ, that's you. The word Jesus is what's throwing you off. You thinking of some objective entity that lived 2,000 years ago to some white man. But even if you deal with Barashanga, even if there is a historical person, he wasn't nothing but another nigga just like you. See what I'm saying? That nigga had a big bull can in his hand too, drinking some slits malt liquor. He wasn't no more than you, and no more spiritual than you. Christ means a title or a whole race of people, the original people, the great old ones. Amen, brother. See what I'm saying? Later on, this symbol is drawn by Alypius Levi, the Sabbatic goat, and this becomes the symbol of the devil, which is a rosemary baby, which is a metaphysical symbol.
Nobody could do it like Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody could do it like Bobby. And I think Baphomet came up in the last. I think Baphomet
see, that's the thing though. Baphomet's gonna pop up a lot.
Pop up a
lot.
Yeah, it's gonna pop
and all
up.
Different types of things.
Yeah.
Because the Baphomet was a universal symbol used by the Moors. They went around the planet with that symbol.
They sure did.
So you're gonna find that, or a different depiction of it. You're gonna find it everywhere. And I like what Bobby said, that Christ was a title, because so was devil. Devil is also a title.
Yeah.
You know. Satan was also a title.
Yep.
Now, devil was the constructed. Lucifer is also a title.
The light bringer.
And the thing about Lucifer and Satan is kind of like the tree of life or the Kabbalah that you were talking about, right? You have two sides to it. Lucifer is one side, and the Satan is the other side of it. The devil was the created character for the Bible story. You know, and the devil, all he is the adversary. It's the ego. It's all the negativity combating your light and your positivity, right? But I want to get real deep into that topic on another show. I want to, because I'll go on forever with that one. That one, we need some real space and time for that topic.
Yeah, we definitely.
And I want to bring my notes. I want to have the videos ready to go. What
books,
I've read, I want to have all of that set, because that's a serious. I feel like once people understand the difference between that, they're going to start looking at these Bible stories. They're going to start looking at these horror movies differently.
A lot differently.
They're going to look at everything different.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot
so
differently.
That's a topic I'm looking forward to. Near future, we're going to figure it out.
Yep, it's coming, family. So, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight, checked us out. You know what I'm saying? Look for us next Monday, 7:30. We will be going live with 3 fresh new topics. You know what I'm saying? Fresh new ideas. And Ski Love, you got anything coming up you want to let the people know about?
OSC is having an artist showcase. What day is that? August 9th. And then we're also having a show August 15th. I will get the details and the location and stuff like that to you, so we can put that up on our next video that Monday and whatnot. If you know anybody that's interested in doing music or wanted to do collabs or even just learn music in general, I'll put my Instagram information in here and send them my way. I love to help.
Yeah. With that being said, y'all, we out of here. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will see y'all next Monday, 7:30 live.
Live.
All right. Peace.
Peace.